That's why I stopped wearing shorts. Same reason.
Dude, yeah. It's
shorts.
like...
And oh, God. You know what I'm wearing right now, actually? Is a fucking jockstrap. And
Are you actually?
Are you for real? Are you actually wearing a jockstrap?
Yes. It's so uncomfortable.
Why are you doing
wearing
that?
one?
What happened?
Are you out of underwear?
Did you run out of everything else?
No, dude, I bought it.
What? Why? Oh, man.
Let's go.
I wasn't going to call you because I didn't want to call you.
Yes. Yes.
I'm glad you weren't lying.
It only took us. It took us 400 episodes to see some ass on this show, dude. Let's fucking go. Welcome back to Oops the Podcast.
All right, lots to unpack here.
I got something for you.
Please.
Julio, I don't know where you came up with that idea.
Dude, this guy was a huge turkey.
What is this, Japan?
Which is
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I hadn't told you about it.
No, and I also just assumed you were saving it for the pod if you were going to tell me,
Yeah.
which of course you were.
Oh,
But-
yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Oops the Podcast. Welcome back. Joined as ever by Giulio Gallerati to my left.
Oh, yeah.
And special guest for the day. He is one half of KFC Radio. He is a long-standing member of Barstool Sports, all the way back to the Milton days. The founder, if you will, of the Saturdays Are For the Boys movement. Ladies and gentlemen, it's John Feitelberg.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. That
Welcome.
was quite an intro. I think this is the first time I ever got an intro on a podcast.
Francis is good intros, man.
Yeah, that was strong.
I
rips
like
them.
intros. I pride myself on intros.
He rips them.
When I studied abroad, my junior year of college, actually, I was in South America, and they called me Senor del Intro.
Really?
No,
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, come on, man.
I was known for it.
That's
for
the
it
first
down
time
there.
hearing about that.
Senor del Intro's got to be like one of the 5 worst nicknames of all time. If you lock that one down.
Yeah, that's pretty literal. Makes you kind of think it's all you're good for. Well, John Feitelberg, for those of you who don't know him, which, by the way, is how so many maids of honor start their best maid or best girl speech at weddings, and I fucking can't stand it. If you are a maid of honor and you are giving the maid of honor speech, do not start it with, for those of you who don't know me.
It's like starting an essay with, as they say in Merriam-Webster.
In conclusion,
It's just, you don't need it. If there are people there who don't know you, introduce yourself. Hi, I am Lizzie. I am the cousin of our dear bride, and we've known each other since this. Don't need to say that bullshit. Don't need to say that.
I've only given one best man speech in my life, and I gave it. The maid of honor in this wedding was the most. I mean, he makes Joey Camassa look straight. Like, he was the most flamboyant gay guy you'll ever see in your life, and he was working the crowd like before the speech. Like this is just like at dinner and like all that stuff.
that's tough.
And I was sitting there because I had worked on my speech. I had fucking like practiced in the shower. Like, I had no notes, no nothing. I was like, I'm gonna kick the shit out of this thing. And this dude was just the fucking life of the party. And I was like, God damn it,
That's
he
tough.
is gonna
That's really
kick
tough,
the
dude.
shit out of me. But then he got up there and he fucking sucked.
Really?
Wow.
It was. Oh yeah. He had notes. He was fumbling, stumbling, stuttering.
Ah,
Yeah.
I was like,
the camera's
"Oh,
turned on.
yeah."
Wow.
Got the lights on you now, don't you, brother?
Pretty homophobic, John. Pretty
Yeah,
homophobic.
you should have heard inside my head.
Very homophobic take from John. So I'm glad that you did stick it out, though, that you did well there. And I've been thinking a lot about weddings recently, but I don't remember what I was thinking.
Is it
about
because we
them.
got a big one coming up?
Yes, we do. Julio and I both got invited to a wedding in France in August.
Oh, congratulations.
No, it's not.
Oh. I thought France was like your last name or something. Why did you point at him? Why did you point at him?
My point was not at Chris.
It was
I
abroad.
thought your name was Chris France. Like,
That was a very.
I needed a, for those of you who don't know me, speech before this thing started, so I know everyone's first name, last name, what their fucking marital status was.
Chrissy France France.
France
chair.
might be. France is that way, but this
wait. Do you actually know where France is from where we are positioned right
yeah,
now?
that's east. This
Sure.
is west.
I don't know
West
what position
Manhattan.
we're facing.
That's east. It's across the Atlantic. It's east.
Yeah, it makes sense. I just don't know which way is east right now. I guess you're telling me it's that way, but I
Same.
would have never known that.
This is 7th Avenue, right? And we're on the east side of 7th Avenue. So if that's west, that's east. That would
I
be where
definitely
France
would
is.
have guessed the Atlantic is that way.
That's south.
Yeah. But like the water's over there.
Sure, but there's also water that way if you go that
There's
way.
water all the ways.
yeah.
Oh,
It's an island.
Chris is checking the compass. Oh, you
Oh.
dog!
That can't be right.
You want to use it?
Bro, what is this, a sci-fi thriller?
Think
the
about
compass
it.
is going all crazy.
Think about it. So hold
Due
on.
north.
Well, then Manhattan's not oriented north-south, which I guess I knew.
Yeah, it's long.
The tip of Manhattan is not
Faces
north.
west.
What?
I think so.
No, bro.
I think the
No.
Bronx is like
This is saying
the
that the
Bronx
tip.
is North Manhattan, but I think it's west.
No, the tip.
Oh,
of,
this is getting
this
dumb.
Is it one of those where you zoom out and the globe makes it like confusing? Well, bro, maybe that's not 7th Avenue. These are blackout curtains.
No,
That
that's
is
definitely
7th
Seventh
Avenue.
Avenue.
100%.
100%.
By the orientation of Manhattan,
Wait,
if
but
if
is- sorry.
if the West Village, if the West Side Highway is facing west, and the East Village is east is that way, the way I pointed, and the West Village is that. But clearly, this compass, if this is correct, Chris, is
France.
telling us that southern Manhattan is west, and that western Manhattan is north, and that northern Manhattan
bro.
is east.
No.
I think I've always known that, and
No,
everyone's
you look
talked
at
to me
this.
like I'm stupid.
Look at that. That would tell you what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
Maybe it's
It
wrong.
may when
I
you
don't
look
know.
at a map, that makes sense. The West Village is the southern part of Manhattan, because Manhattan is long.
Yes, but there
It's
are
south.
more. The Fidei is more south than the West Village.
it's more west than the West Village.
No.
No, more east than the West Village.
No.
I don't know, man.
I would have
Sorry.
thought south.
I brought the
France
tell-
would be
what
this
I'm-
way, according to this.
According to that, which makes no sense, because it's like saying go past the
Me-
Bronx. So unless there's some kind of curvature of the globe situation,
Which
or
there is. Are you a
maybe
flat
that's
we've-
earther?
wrong.
or I think more importantly, we've been lied to, in that Manhattan is not oriented north-south.
Right. We're
the
just
way that we
seeing it
think.
close up when we're looking at the map. Typically.
Yeah, that's right. Every subway map is perfectly top to bottom.
Interesting, dude.
But that does make sense, because oftentimes when I'm in, like, we just moved into Brooklyn, and we have a view kind of Manhattan, and they're like, you're not facing
Look,
west there.
as you zoom
You're
out,
facing more.
it's like this.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
It's like
I've been saying this my whole life, and everyone talks to me like I'm dumb. It is not my whole life. I've been here 7 years. I didn't have a great understanding of the geography of Manhattan when I was a kid in Boston, Massachusetts. But I am very impressed with your confidence, because it was. I mean, I was like, sure, Francis is right.
Maybe
Well,
my
like,
compass was wrong. I'm not sure.
I'm
that.
gonna
Yeah,
go
it's
with
impossible.
Apple's compass over Francis's brain.
But my logic, I stand by my logic. I just didn't realize that that Manhattan, I guess, is
It's a little
not
funky.
oriented north-south. It's not a perfect.
funkily oriented.
You couldn't say that like Columbia or 125th Street or something is north, and that the southern tip of Manhattan is south.
No,
It-
it's
it would be
rotated 90
northeast.
degrees. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on a sort of
Yeah, it's like
diagonal.
a-
yeah. What a joke! They should have built it differently.
Just a bunch of trash piled on top of each other, isn't it? Like,
Stupid.
we
yeah.
get to choose how this happened.
Yeah.
How do you think they do that? We've had this question with Marty Mush before, where he came. We were discussing Abu Dhabi. Is Abu Dhabi man-made? Is that the one?
Parts of it I know
Parts of it.
are.
And we
Those
were like, how do you
islands-
think they
Dubai
made
is
it?
the one. That
Dubai
has
is the one
man-made
then,
stuff,
okay.
yeah.
And we're like, how do you think they made this? And he had some interesting answers, but I still don't know what the actual answer
How did they
is.
do landfill?
Like they just bring, like they just scoop a bunch of dirt from other places and just dump it in the water.
I don't know.
I kind of think so. I almost think
Pretty simple.
I don't think it's that much more complicated than that.
Just moving land.
There, I mean,
There must be some techniques
yeah.
has-
that we don't know
You
about.
can't just be taking bales of sand. Like, all right, everyone, go back to the beach. Another one over here.
This should work. I don't know, dude.
I don't know. Well, so John,
Sorry.
what were you gonna say?
I have a question for you guys, real quick, in regard to what we were just talking about, wedding. We start looking at flights, okay? And I notice that there's a flight that's significantly less expensive than the other flights. And I'm like, oh, how great. And then I asked my girlfriend, I'm like, hey, how would you feel about flying on, it's some airline neither of us have ever heard of. She goes, I wouldn't feel good about it. And I was like, well, the only other flights are like twice as much money. And then I started thinking, like, would it be crazy to literally fly on the other flight while she takes the more expensive flight?
No.
I would do it, dude.
Just so you can land and be like, fucking told you.
No, $1,000 versus $2,000. It's pure. It's not out of being stubborn. It's just out of trying to be like responsible financially.
Well, that I think is dumb. Stubbornness I can appreciate.
So you think I should just spend the extra $1,000 and take Delta?
No, I think you should do it, but just do it for a different reason. Do it for stubbornness. Do it for spite. Do it so you can be right.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that if you were to split, even if in your mind your intentions were purely financial and you really told her that, there's no way she would not take it in some spiteful way.
I said to her, I was literally like, we ended the conversation and we didn't revisit it more. And I was like, well, like so and so is literally $1,000 more, so I intend to take whatever the random airline was, and then we sort of stopped the conversation. So like, I don't think she actually thinks I'll do that, but I am gonna push hard for the random airline.
So I looked at flights too, and the Delta flight was way more expensive.
Yeah.
And then they had some that were on airlines there were some like British Airways ones that weren't that bad.
Really? Okay.
I think,
Worth revisiting.
and then there was one that I'd never heard of, Air Compagnie or something like that.
I think I saw that too. And then there was another random French one as well.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, in doing all of this, I then searched for what are the most dangerous airlines in the world to make sure that this wasn't on it. And number 3 is an airline I flew 3 months ago. I was like, dude, all right, I can fucking do it.
I
got
used
this.
to think that basically any profession of any esteem, you're all the same. Right? I used to think like, there's no such thing as a bad doctor. You graduated med school, who fucking cares? Right? A doctor's a doctor, and lawyers the same, and airline pilots are the same. And then I flew probably when I was in high school. I went to El Salvador, and my uncle's a pilot. And I came home, and he was like, "Oh, like how was El Salvador?" I was like, "It was great, sketchy fucking flight though."
Really?
And he's like, "What'd you fly?" I said, "I think it was like Taka or something like that." And he was like, he got like legitimately mad at me. He's like, we call that Taka another airline. Like, you don't fly Taka. Taka crashes like
What?
way more than every other flight. So I hope it wasn't Taka.
I flew Taka last year too, dude. I swear to God, Nicaragua. It's a Nicaraguan airline. Jesus. Taka was not on the list, so perhaps they've improved.
No way. All right, good for them.
Yeah, Jesus Christmas, dude. That's very stressful.
My guess is that, all those planes are made by the same companies, Boeing and whatnot, but I would bet that those Taka Boeings are hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
They're the ones that, United is like, it's time to retire this. Taka's like, you're not using that anymore? Are you guys eating that? Or are you going to take that home with you? I still got some room.
It's funny you say that. Cam Air, the airline that I flew that was number 3, Afghanistan's airline, they got hand-me-down planes that were built in 1980.
Yeah.
And there was just one crash, so the statistics are skewed. Everybody died. It was like a snowstorm, whatever. But like because of that, it now makes it in the top 5, which then again made me feel better. Moral of the story, most airlines are always landing.
Are you saying the statistics are skewed because people said this airline has a lot of deaths, but it all came from one plane?
Correct.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly, dude. Bro, if there was a school bus that crashed on my street, and they were like, 50 people died on the street this year. Like, what the fuck?
Yes.
They're all in one school bus. It's one accident.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's not that. Come on.
It kind of
One
makes you
incident.
wonder when they're like, this.
I don't know why it had to be a school bus. I don't know why kids had to die in my fantasy, but
It does.
That
It
was
does
dark.
make you wonder if when they tell you on the loudspeaker in the subway that last year there were 1,600 people who were struck by trains stay back from the yellow line. It's like, well, was there just one big game of laser tag one afternoon that was being played down on the tracks, and one train came through and really, or
Got 'em
is it
all.
everybody kind of going in individually like lemmings?
Totally, dude.
Yeah.
Got to read between the lines, brother.
We'll have to find that out.
I gave a very successful Christmas gift this year.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was it?
I gave a comprehensive Manscaped kit that had all the bells and whistles.
Oh my God,
Um,
that's a nice gift.
he was very impressed.
Who got it?
My buddy. I don't want to say who because I feel like it's a little.
He's a hairy guy.
No, but like it feels like potentially outside of someone's comfort zone to know that they are using grooming tools for their nether regions.
Yeah, yeah.
But he was psyched and he's like, dude, this is all great. He's like exploring each thing. He goes, oh, and you're a nose trimmer too? I'm like, yeah, dude.
You better
Got
believe
all,
it.
pal, including the lawnmower and all of their sort of signature items.
Yeah.
But there is news here that's important, and that is that Manscaped now sells beard products.
Oh, that's huge.
Mr. Chris.
Yeah.
Chris has become quite the beardsman
Yeah, beardsman.
since we've known him. They are once again revolutionizing men's grooming with the brand new Beard Hedger
That's nice.
Pro Kit.
Yeah.
From a beard trim to a fresh shave, the technology behind the Beard Hedger Pro Kit allows you to shape your signature beard look. It's time to tame your mane.
Tame it.
All right. There's also a bunch of other great beard products: beard shampoo and conditioner, beard oil, beard balm. If you want to get in on any of this exciting stuff, or just get back with the Manscaped core products, right now you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code OOPS at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Francis, if you use code OOPS, go to manscaped.com right now.
Well, John. Okay. Let's. Do you know about John?
I mean, yeah, of course.
You know about him?
He's one of the premier guys here. Dude.
He's
How can I
a
know?
top dog.
He's a top dog.
Top dog.
That's an over-exaggeration.
John is a very interesting character, and that is because you've been with the company Barstool Sports for so long. How many years have you worked at the company?
I think, I don't know the months, but I am 34 and I started when I was 21. So
Holy shit.
12 to 13 years.
That's
somewhere in
incredible.
That's awesome.
there. It is a long time.
That's incredible.
I probably got about 2 left.
Really?
I no, I'm kidding. That didn't get. I was.
I'm sorry.
I meant in my
Was it?
life. No.
It's a number that would be believable.
No. It's been a long time. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I guess I have questions for you, but I don't know if you want to answer them.
Okay, let's fucking do it. I'm sure
And we
I'll
can
answer.
always cut them if they're not good.
Yeah, let's do it.
Have you ever been really close to leaving?
I've been really close to being fired. I don't think I've ever been really close to leaving. I think there was one time when we first moved to New York where it was like I remember Dave. There was a thing like Barstool Radio where Dave got mad at Carabas because Carabas had been flirting with EEI in Boston, and mine wasn't. I think Jared like actually got a contract offer. I think I had a few like someone had reached out and been like, would you ever leave? And I was like, the money's right. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know what the future holds here. And that was about as far as mine went. I actually talked to Erica where I was like, what do you think? And she was like, I think you shouldn't leave. And I was like, okay, that's all I really needed. And that's about as close as I've ever been, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It has not come. I think like anyone with any job has ideas where you're like, oh, and then do fantasies and where you're like, maybe like this would be like amazing. But nothing ever remotely serious has materialized.
Got it.
Which is probably depressing, to be honest.
Well, which leads to my next question. If Barstool were to sink into the sea tomorrow, what would you do?
Whew. God damn. I don't know. I think we're all unfortunately going to be late on like Patreon and stuff like that. I think if Barstool were to disappear and all the podcasts here wanted to keep being podcasts, I don't think we would get. Maybe we would. Maybe I'm just self-conscious and have no self-confidence, which is true. But I would think that people wouldn't be like, they'd be like, you guys are fucking fine. You don't need a Patreon, whatever. I don't think that there would be. I don't think it would happen. So I don't know what the answer would be. I would guess probably call up Light Switch Lou and be like, you still fucking slinging podcast ad reads? Like, help your boy out. But I am not able to do anything else in this world. Like, I have no other talents or capabilities. I don't know. I if Barstool folded into the sea, I might just fucking follow it. I don't really have.
You're really giving yourself a wonderful bargaining position for your next raise. I'm not capable of doing anything else in this world.
Like, I mean, but
Did you go to college?
what's up?
Did you go to college?
Not graduated. I went to a bunch, but I didn't.
How many?
It's actually so weird. This keeps coming. We just had Are You Garbage on the show, and we talked about it there. It comes up a fair amount. How dumb I am, which is unfortunate. But I went to. Honestly, I don't know the exact answer. It depends on because there are definitely some I went to where I just got 0 credits from them. And then there are others where I might have picked up a class. The number is between 7 and 9.
7 and 9 colleges?
Yes. It depends what you're counting. Like, I was talking about studying abroad, which I did in high school. And so I did that with the University of Rhode Island, but I did it at La Universidad de Salamanca. And I can still roll
El Salvador?
Yeah. No. It's Salamanca. It's in Spain.
Sick. Oh, I should have known by the
Salamanca.
Yeah, they're not that pretentious in El Salvador. I've never heard an El Salvadorian be like, actually, I'm from El Salvador. Actually, it's El
I'm gonna
Salvador.
send the ETA after you. So there were 2 there, and then there's I went to St. Michael's in Vermont. And like a lot, not all these were like fully enrolled. Like sometimes I was just like taking courses. UMass Dartmouth, Florida State, Providence College, NYU.
Holy shit!
wow.
UMass Dartmouth was twice.
These are all good schools.
But like I said, like NYU and PC, I was just taking classes.
Gotcha.
I was enrolled at FSU. I was enrolled at St. Mike's. I think I was enrolled at UMass Dartmouth. So maybe 3 enrollments and then others like taking classes.
Why did you switch? What would happen? Were you not doing well academically? Were you getting?
It was
bored?
a mix of many things. I think when my freshman year, I think I didn't know what depression was and just didn't leave my dorm room and didn't go to class. So that was one where they were like, you probably should go figure shit out. So the St. Michael's was like, don't come back.
Those are the years where it supposedly hits you. Right?
Yeah, it was like.
Is that how it went for you?
I would think so. I mean, again, like looking back on it, I still like, yeah, it's what it was. I mean, I just didn't leave my room for fucking days on end and didn't go to classes and just stayed up nights to watch TV, slept all day. So, like, I mean, if you were to fucking look up depression, it was depression.
Yeah.
Totally.
Can I just pause you for 1 second?
Yeah.
There was a rumor, which I'm pretty sure was true at Harvard, where if in your freshman year, your roommate committed suicide while you were living with them, you would get straight A's for the entire semester.
Yeah.
So if you and I had been roommates,
bro,
I think I'm making it worse for you.
Dude, I lived in a single. I lived in a single, or else I'd have taken a dive for the boys.
I don't know that I'm lending a helping hand. I really could have used some good grades that year.
Oh my God.
Honestly, I had to have like one of the only singles. I lived in Founders Hall at St. Mike's, and I had a single bedroom, and it was like it was weird. It had like slope ceilings, and it was terrible. But I was the only person in it.
Jeez.
Had I lived with a kid I liked, maybe I'd fucking take it for him. Just jump out the window, but hey, the next 3 months are on me, bro.
Dude, this happened to my friend from school, and I don't think he got straight A's.
Oh, really?
I need to tell him that.
Also,
I probably shouldn't tell him that.
If you, I think that's a rumor at a lot of places. And if anyone listening or anyone in this room hasn't seen the film classic Dead Man on Campus, starring Mark Paul Gosselaar and a very recognizable gentleman who I forget, he's Andrea Savage's husband in I'm Sorry. Tom Everett Scott. Yeah, Mark Paul Gosselaar and Tom Everett Scott. It's a classic. I haven't seen it.
Is Mark Paul Gosselaar the guy from 902 or not the high school show?
Yeah, are you?
What shows?
First of all, you're gonna ask me who Mark Paul Gosselaar is. Second of all, you're not gonna know the name of it. Saved by the Bell. Jesus,
got it out. Sorry.
That
was close. At least I got it out before you said it, so that people know that I knew.
I'll be honest, I would have beat you to it, but I lost it for a second. I had to find it in the back of my head.
So you were starting to learn about depression as a freshman.
Yeah.
And has that been a persistent thing for you?
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, like everyone, it comes and goes, and sometimes it's worse than it is other times. But it is. I've been talking about this recently. I think we overcorrected on depression.
Mm-hmm.
I think
for you or in general,
for the whole society, where everything now is just like, I don't know, I have good days and I have bad days.
But it sounds as if you were significantly depressed.
Yeah, and I have had times, and it's a fucking roller coaster. But I don't know, man. The thing I always think of it is like when the examples people use are like. So if you broke your leg, someone wouldn't say like just walk it off or get better, and I'm like, that's true, But if you fucking complained about your broken leg all the time, I'd be like, I don't know, man. People live. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, I don't know. It happens. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad. It is what it is.
Right. Right.
You take anything?
I have taken things. I've just like everything. Where when things are bad, I might be like, it might be time to step up something. I probably should be on something more often than I am, but currently I'm not. So let's go.
I'm starting to think about revisiting the old pharmaceutical cabinet.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. The last time I dabbled with it, with professional prescription, I took citalopram, Celexa. It was like a anti-anxiety that can also sort of act as a little bit of like a antidepressant and just try to like bring your lows a little less low and bring your highs a little less high. But it actually, after not too long, was crystallizing some pretty dark moments, and almost it felt like it was making a stronger call to action on those, which really freaked me out. So we weaned
like
me
a
off
stronger
that.
call to action on, say, ideation.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like one of those things where it's like side effects might include becoming more depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and it had taken things from a kind of like a general lack of worth and darkness and sort of fascination with it to like, linking together a plan, which
Oh, God.
was not good.
Like
Sorry to hear that.
now, I think we're on a fun podcast, so we can joke about it. How detailed was his plan? Like mine are usually like pretty quick. Like I'm not writing shit down. I'm usually like, dude, like I'll just jump out the fucking right now.
No.
And I'm like, don't do that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
It was there were times where it was like I can't trust myself to walk down into the subway right now.
ooh,
Wow.
that's serious. I mean, that's how I am with guns. Like that's why I'll never have a gun
Yeah.
because you have a bad day.
Yeah.
That shower gets messy fast.
Yeah. Yeah, there was it was before that's the other thing. I mean, I definitely had moments of like of not wanting to be a burden
Right.
from a cleanup perspective
Mhm.
or you talk about jumping out the window, like I don't want to take someone else with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My room at Founders Hall, I wouldn't have landed in public. I had a good spot.
There's a great, not a great. There's the scene in Amélie. Did you ever watch that movie? Amélie?
No, I can picture I can picture the cover very easily
Yeah.
because it's such a weird looking cover.
Oh, it's
Did you see
one of my favorites. And
Yeah.
I know the scene you're talking about.
Yeah, her
Notre Dame.
mom jumps off.
No, her mom gets killed by a person who is committing suicide by
That's what
jumping
it
off
was.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
in Bruges. Have you seen that one?
I have
I
not seen
have,
Bruges.
but-
When Brendan Gleeson is just dropping the coins off so people know to move. That's a real G move.
That is a G move.
I was like
like,
looking it up, being like, "What the fuck is this?" They see coins, so they all spread out, and then
Yeah.
bang.
It's like an Olympic diver
God.
throwing a rock into the water so they can see the water. You know how they do that?
Yeah.
Maybe not an Olympic dive. The
I think that was
divers,
cliff divers.
Cliff diver.
Yeah.
divers throw a rock so they know how close the water is. Yeah.
That
That's
is
interesting.
a move that would have been. I could have used that a time or two.
Yeah. But things are better now. The darkness has receded in a big way. I've been battling it and, found some good ways through it. What I need now, what I'm thinking about now are proper mood stabilizers
Yeah.
because I've been beset with anger lately.
Anger?
Yeah. And it doesn't manifest in some violent sort of outburst way.
Yeah, like like smacking a cup out of your friend's
No.
hand in Arizona or something.
But you were explaining it to me as like specific individuals. And a lot of the time your gripes were like reasonable.
Yeah,
but you think it's unreasonably
dude, I
high
mean,
stakes?
there seems to be a current of rage that is running through me that sits under the surface and is summoned with very little sort of ignition. You know what I mean?
Can I say something that probably is the worst thing possible to say to someone in such a situation? I think that's part of your mystique. I think you got that. You got that. You got that. You talk to friends like this dude's walking a knife's edge right now.
I cannot gain from thinking that it somehow benefits my creative.
No, I'm very much
process.
kidding. I do not think that at all.
Because there's plenty of good work that I've made that has been made in times of peace and complete clear-headedness.
Times of peace.
You know?
But all right.
The war inside the head.
Yeah.
But to what you're saying, I understand what you mean, because Francis, like, randomly having a short fuse sometimes is something funny about him.
Right.
Like, he'll randomly be like, so, like, we were talking to somebody the other day, and we're talking, and I'm talking, and he's not saying anything. He's not saying a word. He's not saying shit. And he's like, dude, I really hate that person.
Yeah.
And he couldn't even talk. He was just looking at the table.
Couldn't talk.
They were talking to both of us.
I do think exactly.
It was pretty funny, dude. That's amazing.
I can see you very much doing like and it's because of your voice and all that stuff, but like I could almost, if I close my eyes, I could be like, I'm doing a podcast with Ed Kemper right now. Like I can see that, the calm, educated anger, where it's like, it's almost like it's a like I can't really find a way to describe it, but it's like I don't know, I'm losing the thread here, but it's an impressive anger. You feel like you're angry a lot, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and
Which is a bad thing.
it is a bad thing. It sucks. We were talking about this on the bracket yesterday, where it's like, you know, there is something about the guy in the friend group who's the angry guy, the combustible guy. Watching them meltdown can be entertaining. Sometimes it's fun to prod them until, you know, watch them blow up and stuff.
We're describing Barstool Sports as a whole.
Yeah, but I still think that, you know, for me, there's no argument to be made that angry Francis is better or more likable or easier to have around than fun, goodwill, good-mannered Francis.
I would agree. I don't
Agreed.
think I've been around angry Francis very much, if ever. But
My-
I do enjoy being around good mannered.
My
Francis.
anger, unfortunately, tends to manifest in withdrawing, being sullen, being cold and distant. That's the way it comes out. And I sort of shut down, and I don't talk.
Yeah.
And I recede into myself. And I don't blow up, but people know that there's something wrong, because I think a lot of the time in normal, I'm gregarious. I talk a lot. I like to go banter with people, and, you know, I like to think that I'm pretty warm in my normal tenor. So like what Julio just said, that this person we were talking to, even in that instance, was doing the very thing for which I don't like them. And I just had to sit and sort of do my own breathing exercises
Really?
to like wait.
Doing the old Jefferson count to 10 type deal?
It's like I wasn't going to blow up, but I knew, I was like, I'm just going to wait until they're gone.
Yeah, the fact that they didn't even notice, is a testament to part of the reason, probably why you don't like this person that much.
Yeah.
But he was literally just like staring toward the end of the table, blankly, and not look like it was actually hilarious. Now that I think back,
Julio, I've seen you get mad,
I
but
get mad, yeah.
but you have, it seems to me, a very good grasp on your mood. And for the most part, you are it appears, outwardly happy person.
I would say that's true.
Do you have to work on that?
No,
That sucks.
sorry.
That sucks.
Sorry,
Dude, I have
sorry.
friends like that too. Like, where you're
knock
just like,
on all the wood.
That sucks, says John.
well, it sucks to hear as someone like me, where it's just like, well, all
Yeah.
right, like, it is just one of those, like, maybe I'm born this way.
It's a
type deals.
gift.
Like,
That's a
there's
gift.
nothing I can get. Dude, I remember I had a breakdown with a buddy, and he was just like, man, like, I'd love to help you, but like, I just don't even understand what you're talking about. Like, he's like, I'm just like so happy and like things are great. Where I'm like, all right, well, why did I fucking call you then? All right, I'll call someone else.
No, but I'm compassionate. Like, I'm helpful. Like, if you have a problem, or if any of my friends have issues, like, a lot of the times they'll call me. Like, I'm happy to like listen and talk through it, whatever.
Mhm.
So I'm not like not like that, where I'm like dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Do you feel sad? What?
It's like, I don't even understand. Like, how do you not understand what sadness is? What are you fucking talking about right now?
Right.
Hi, Francis. I have good and bad news for you.
Yeah.
The good news is there are a bunch of gigantic cases of Hangobi on their way to our P.O. box at the moment.
Just in time.
But the bad news is I have the last man standing.
You
The
selfish
final Hangobi.
dick.
And I'm
rubbing
gonna
it in
drink
my face.
Hate to break it to you, my
Pop
boy.
that open. That sounds making me envious. It's making my mouth fill
shit.
with saliva.
Oh shit.
Somebody turn on the showers inside my gums.
Hell yeah, brother. This thing is no joke. And bro, I'll tell you what. The Hangobi, there's something about on the Essential, these sort of mountains that are etched into the background.
Yeah.
Really does give a man the thirst to get out there.
Get out there,
As long
people.
as the thirst to wet his whistle.
You drink an Essential, and you'll be powered by that ashwagandha and all those incredible active ingredients, which just put the pep in your hiking boots as you take on ranges and fjords
Yep, that's right.
galore.
Ranges and fjords galore. Ranges and fjords galore. To me, the Essential just tastes like the healthiest one. I'm pulling that out of my old arse. I don't know that for sure. I think they all are healthy and have their nice signature ingredients. The other
Yeah.
thing that I like about it, there's no sort of base flavor. They each have their own flavor. The way that another beverage might sort of like veer off and it still sort of tastes like the original, I like that these all taste different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? While the theme is still intact.
Mm.
The Hangobi is really just a great beverage. We really like it. I'll tell you what, the other night, I had a big night, probably a week or so ago, and I didn't remember that I had opened a Hangobi to mix a cocktail. I then went in the fridge and went to grab a new Hangobi, and it was open, and it was half empty, and I said, you dog. You dog.
You dog.
You dog.
You're leaving a wounded soldier in there.
Hangobis are now in over 150 stores, spreading like wildfire. They're delicious, and we recommend you getting in there and trying some. Go to hangobi.com, use promo code Oops, I'm hung,
Oops, I'm hung.
and you will get 30% off of your order.
30%.
Oops, I'm hung. At checkout, hangobi.com, promo code Oops, I'm hung. They're pretty damn good. You should
Pretty
give them a
damn
try.
Get it. Now, you have, in a way, branded part of this
Yeah. I mean, not in a
Into
way. I would guess in a like
sad
literally.
boy clothing.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
I don't know how to. It was just a thing. I think I said, like, I don't know, like everything, like how merch gets made. Like I said it once and people were like, I like it. And then someone was like, what do you want the logo to be? And I just drew what I feel like I look like to the world, which is a slumped, sad thing.
A defeated
Yeah. Like, and I feel like that's
being.
how I walk into every room is like that. And
God,
it doesn't inspire excitement from anybody. And
so
I just-
strange, man, that you say
Yeah.
that. I could not think more the opposite of you.
Really?
Same, dude.
I think
know,
of
I don't
you
know that
as
well,
this
but
like
same.
whirling dervish of jolly frivolity, your bouncy flouncy hair, your fun cartoonish mustache. You laugh a lot. You're
The laugh is that's the thing I hate the most about me is how much I laugh.
You
I
seem-
fucking despise it.
you seem ready for a good time at any moment, and that the world and its arrows bounce off of you. In fact, you're the only person I know that works here who seems to have a proper immunity to all the commentary and the negative feedback from the audience.
But that's only because I think that we've talked about this a bit too before. But like I think that is for at least some people the understanding of it. But that's only because it affects me so much. I just know I can't look at it. I know people say like, oh, I don't look at, but they still go look at the fucking comments or the Reddit or whatever. Dude, if you like send me a tweet that I don't think is funny, muted forever. Like I haven't looked at a Reddit in fucking 10 years. I haven't looked at a comment in 10 years because it does affect me so much.
But
So,
that
like-
it affects everybody that much, and it doesn't stop everybody else from doing it.
I guess
So
you're saying I'm the only
regardless-
smart one.
Well, I don't
Sure.
think the reason matters. You are the only person who has had the willpower to do that.
I guess it's just I know where it puts me. So I guess actually that would be my question to everyone else is like how just when you know it puts you in a hole, when you know I think that it should be clear to everybody who works here or works anywhere, right, in entertainment, that like reading those comments will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If they're like, you suck, you will get down on yourself, you'll be less funny, you'll be less entertaining, you will be worse at your job. They will end up being right in the end if you keep looking at that stuff.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want them to be right. Same thing, same reason I'd fly that plane.
There we go. I like it.
I knew where it put me, and I knew because when I did look at that stuff, I would get down on myself, and I would be not funny. I would not be excited to work. I'm excited to come to work. I'm excited to do podcasts. I'm excited to do whatever it is I'm doing that day. Every time I come to work, if I knew and I'm sure people still say the same shit. I'm sure people fucking hate me. And if I knew that they were saying that every time I got happy to come to work, I would stop coming. I'd stop doing good work when I got here, and it fucked me up.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting. I don't know. Like when it comes to that kind of shit, I would say like 95% of it is just too vague to truly be that offensive. But then there's like the 5% where they really will get you they'll hit you where it hurts.
Oh,
like
I think it's 100% spot on every time. Like I'm like,
what if they're just like, you suck? Like that's so vague.
But in my head, I do suck, so I'm like,
okay,
they're right.
gotcha.
This person got me.
Gotcha.
Like I might be tricking some other people still, but that person found me out.
Interesting.
Funny.
Yeah, one thing that they sent me, and this hurt my feelings a little bit. I was sitting like this with these pants on, and I think it began. And somebody just zoomed all the way in on this and went, tough look, dude. And I was like, this is why I now sit like this. But at least I learned. I don't disagree with that, but that definitely hurt my feelings a little bit.
That's why I stopped wearing shorts. Same reason.
Dude, yeah. It's
shorts.
like...
And oh, God. You know what I'm wearing right now, actually? Is a fucking jockstrap. And
Are you actually?
Are you for real? Are you actually wearing a jockstrap?
Yes, it's so
Why are you doing
wearing
that?
One?
What happened?
Are you out of underwear?
Did you run out of everything else?
No, dude, I bought it.
What?
What? Why?
It's kind of as a joke. Kevin was Kevin was talking about it. Kevin had a tweet, maybe even Instagram about it. Like his buddy had texted him asking, do you think people still wear jockstraps? And Kevin was like, what do you fucking mean still? Like, no, I never wore a jockstrap. He's like, oh, I used to wear them in high school and basketball all the time. And as he was explaining it, I was like, it actually makes sense. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever done this. I've put on my girlfriend's underwear as a joke in the past. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, whew, kind of comfy when I was keeping it snug and stuff like that, you know? It's like I got long balls, so like when like it's like a fucking old pair of titties. Like it feels nice when they're fucking held in place. So I had her underwear on. This is years ago. And I was like, and really to hammer the image home, I was hiding in the closet. And so I like jumped out like, ah! But the whole time I was like, God damn, that's kind of comfy. And I'd forgotten all about that. I'd suppressed that down real far for the last decade. And then Kevin was talking about jockstraps, and I was like, dude, the way you're explaining this, because his buddy had said like, it just helped keep things in check during basketball. And I was like, that sounds like something I could use. And so I got one. I got a bunch. For the whole squad. And I'm wearing one right now. And it's not as comfy as I thought it was going to be.
So
my nuts are really smushed into my ass right now. And then my ass is just touching denim.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is
I was gonna
super
ask.
comfy. It is.
So for the people at home, a jockstrap is,
Caso.
Oh, man.
Let's go.
I wasn't going to call you because I didn't want to call you.
Yes.
I'm glad you weren't lying.
It only took us. took us 400 episodes to see some ass on this show, dude. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
You went with pink too,
I came in a 3-pack. I got pink, green, and black.
which gives you the taste of the women's underwear that you so wish you were wearing.
Yeah, do not read the comments of this episode, Brad.
It has a sort of a pouch in the front,
Yeah.
and I didn't.
Which it just mashes.
Yeah, I
I
didn't.
might have bought a woman's underwear because there's no give for my dick right now.
But
Damn.
how does it cup everything more than a brief?
Because I guess what I thought I wanted is exactly what I don't want. Because the brief has the pouch. There's a
Yeah,
bit of- this is just mashing it in right now.
Ugh.
yeah. Because does that have a slot that you could put a cup into?
No, but I'll
That's
show you
just
that.
like a sex one, like a sex jockstrap.
Yeah, I think so. What was a response?
What's a
like,
sex jock strap?
I think it just like makes your like ass look more like a target.
No, I don't. It is.
I think that's what it is. It really just makes it look nice and juicy, dude.
It does has the holes it up a little bit, but the is sex drive. So Kevin got a big response from Pat, Joey, the gay community, being like, "Dude, we still wear jock straps," which is why I think this one is colored in this fashion.
Oh, okay.
And Kevin actually further inquired. He's like, "What do you mean? Like, why?" And they're like, if I'm going out to get fucked, I wear a jock. And I guess it's just so like, I mean, some people like to have sex with underwear on. I'm not one of those people. I'm not really a throw it to the side. I'll take the extra second and just take it off kind of deal.
Wait, sorry.
but-
What were the two? What's the difference between those two scenarios?
Which ones?
The ones that you just described. Put it to the side versus.
Like just taking off underwear. Like
women's underwear.
women's. Yes.
Got it.
And so guys wear this underwear out
Got it.
when they're just like, I'm gonna get fucked because it's just. I mean, my whole ass is out.
Got it.
Which I am looking forward to later. Maybe dumping without taking my underpants off.
That's like the extension of the bird dogs read. Like, you're running out of time. Tired of taking your underpants off to go to the bathroom.
That's awesome.
Wow.
man.
Well, I
Really,
hope
really
to. So how many days has it been? You're sticking with it.
Oh no, I've done it once. I did it once last week, and then today I was like, whole squad's gotta wear them. People have forgotten. Almost everyone forgot on our team. So it's just me out here again. But I'm going to the fucking Bruins game tonight, and I didn't want to be wearing a jock at the game, so I brought underpants with me to the office
Solid.
to
Good.
change into.
Good.
Solid.
Good.
Go Bruins.
Unreal.
Really, really excellent.
Well, John, I mean, it does occur to me that if you Barstool did slide into the ocean, you would keep podcasting and you would have a gigantic following and audience and you'd make a great living. You guys have done this for so long.
Which is why I think everyone's about done with us.
No,
Oh, you gotta be finished. If you listen, it's the same fucking thing.
don't do this. Don't
No,
do this.
No.
I don't want you to step on your own feet. You guys need this exit plan because you've admitted you don't have anything else.
Well, see, are you bilingual?
No, fuck no.
Oh, the way you said escuela. Or
Oh,
whatever, I was like
yeah.
very.
at a time in my life, I was. If you dropped me in a Spanish country, I could survive probably, but fluent, far no.
Okay.
People are not done with you. I don't think that. I think there's so much proof in the pudding of every time you and Kevin go on the road to do a live show, you sell it out. You have rabid fans that come out for you guys.
We do, but again, you gotta. You see us once, I get it.
I don't know.
Well, let me ask you
I
this.
hope not. Keep coming, please. We're gonna release a bunch of shows this year, but if you stop, I understand.
Why does it ever bother you that it's called KFC Radio?
No. The only time it'll bother me occasionally when we're both joking about it that it's just not a good podcast name as a whole because people think it's like radio. People think it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, and they're like, "Is it a radio show?" So it's gotten to the point though where it's so bad it's good.
It's become iconic, dude.
Yeah.
It is an iconic name. I mean, even before I was sort of like like in the know about Barstool stuff like I knew about KFC radio.
That is.
Everybody was like, and
I was like, what the fuck is Chuck Chicken Radio show?
and you guys are good to comedians, and like
Mhm.
everybody's always excited to do your show. Like it's a great thing, you know, and people like brag about it. I'm doing KFC.
That surprises me. Again.
It's true. It's
But
true.
Yeah.
It is. When we were in Nashville, Bert Kreischer was like, he said that to us. He's like, it's like every comedian, and I think it's just because I laugh when I'm nervous and I laugh in front of big comedians. But he's like, like every comedian loves doing your show, and we were like, no. And it's actually even cooler than him saying that was how dismissive he was. He's like, what are you guys, fucking idiots? Obviously. And we were like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's
But
cool.
that was like 6 months ago. So it's been about 6 months we knew
Yeah.
people like that.
That's real as fuck, dude.
I know everyone's asked you about this, but in the next version of Barstool, when Dan takes a bunch of people to Chicago and the New York office is slimmed down in a way and reworked, you and Kevin have a vision for that. Julio and I are both stand-up comics heavily embedded in the New York comedy scene, and I know it has something to do with that. So I'd be very keen to hear what that vision is.
It is a vision that is still being seen. If that makes sense. It's like we've talked about it with Erica, Kevin more so than me. 1 or 2 times. She's very in on it. It is like, obviously we want to do more comedy entertainment here. If Dave's gonna be doing his thing in Miami, Dan and I don't know how many people. I remember the Chicago up front. They said 60 talent people are going. I was like, I didn't even know we had 60 talent people.
Mm.
So it might be the fucking 6 of us left. But we want to focus more on comedy, and because we've gotten to know so many comedians, we end up learning a lot that people spend like their life savings on YouTube specials,
Mm-hmm.
and we watch them and we see that the quality is not really there,
Mm-hmm.
and not the content of the production value. And we're like, it feels like someone's getting fucked here. If this
Mhm.
costs $60,000,
Are people spending all their money on it?
like we've heard from numbers from 20 to 60 grand. And then we've honestly heard, I think Schultz said he spent 200, but that's a completely different
Yeah.
story.
But are they literally being like, I spent my life savings on my special?
Life savings is the word that's constantly thrown around.
Wow.
And we're like, well, there's like, I mean, we have a full production team here. We can do something with that, and hopefully work into producing specials and then having more comedians here and doing more content. Like, I don't know. I think we always think of two, like working together, which it feels like we're doing a lot more now, but there was like, no one at Barstool ever worked together. Everyone had their own island, but like there was never really that much collaborative effort. And think that there's, and I don't know why that is. I honestly don't. I think Dave kind of wanted to breed that for a while in the early days, where like it wasn't everyone like was at each other's throat, but he liked the idea of like you were saying, like everyone edging everyone a little bit. I shouldn't have done that with that. Edging everyone a little bit, and like everyone's always on edge. Everyone's always like ready to snap just a little bit. And I think there's a better way, not a better way, but I think there's a different way to do it. With I remember Kreischer, Bert told us a story where it was he was doing fucking, what was he doing on the Discovery Channel? Some show, I forget. What it was.
Yeah, the Burt Travel
yeah.
Show.
Bert's Travel Show, yeah.
Yeah.
And he kept like almost dying. Like he broke his back once, and he like jumped off a fucking battleship with like some kind of flying situation. I don't know, but it didn't work, and he crashed hard and got hurt. And then he was at the Comedy Store in L.A. and was like, I think Bill Burr, Rogan, maybe Segura or something like that. 3 of them were in the green room, and they're like, "Dude, you need to stop that. You're going to die." And he was like, "No, like it's just, I mean, I need to make money. Like it's my main source of income." And they were like, "Well, what's your nut? We'll just all go on each other's shows and promote each other until we're massive." And this was fucking 10 years ago, whatever it was. And it's exactly how they all got huge, where everyone is working together and everyone, a bunch of entertaining people going on each other's shows and fucking swap and come. And we were like, well, why don't we do that fucking here? We could.
That has started to happen more.
I think so too. That's why we started doing the Monday episodes where we have a Barstool guest on it. And then I know I've gone on a lot more shows lately, and I think we've had a lot more on our show, and it seems like there's been a lot more going on.
It has.
Boy Dad's been doing it, and I think I hope that was partly from us, or at least everyone had a similar idea.
Absolutely.
Very cool, man.
It's fun. I mean, you have someone down the hall who gets the art of podcasting that the audience likes and knows, and you bring them in, and there's sort of an instant chemistry. But you also, each show is so different. Like if I go on an out and about,
Right.
they're asking me
Out and
about
About definitely does
my
it too.
sexuality,
Yeah.
or like they're being funny in a certain way, whereas you guys are funny in a different way. Son of a boy, dad. There's just different sort
Yeah,
of tones
totally.
to it all.
Bunch
And
of characters over
like
there.
Roan came on our show, and he had just gone on this very expensive vacation to one of the most expensive hotels in America. And he was like, "This is the only show I feel comfortable telling this story on, because we talk about luxurious travel constantly and have no qualms about it." So it was like the perfect show for him to do that on, you know?
Yeah. It is crazy. It is like we have so many talented people here who so many people love. And for a while, it was kind of just, and it still is to an extent, where like everyone's kind of in their own. And I don't really have much like to stand on. We basically hang out in our fucking studio. But I'd like that. I'd like to change it at some point and see if there's something a little bit different that we can do.
Yeah. I think producing specials is a really good idea. Becoming a stand-up hub, but
That's-
also
It's such a hard thing to like, and I'm saying this like in my own head type deal, where like it to me, and you guys would know better than this. Like the comedy community is such like a gatekeeping, like you're not
Totally.
accepted unless you put in your fucking 10,000 hours and yada yada. And we're not trying to be stand-ups. Like don't want that to get misconstrued at all. We're not trying to be stand-ups by any stretch of the imagination. But like my way of reasoning with it is like, well, I don't know, like no one is, because what I think is that we'll try it and people are like, they're fucking posers, they're fucking carpetbaggers, fuck them.
Fuck that, dude. You guys can produce my special.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of doing it. Seriously.
okay.
Yeah, bro.
But
fuck
like,
that.
Who
I don't
gives
think
a
anyone says
shit?
that if someone like at Netflix is like, that's a pretty good special. Like we should give them some money and let's see what happens. I don't think anyone's like, that guy fucking, he's not a comedian. Like
Yeah, dude.
no one knows who that guy is. That's who I hope to be. The guy you don't know who they are.
Yeah,
Dude,
there-
yeah.
Guerrilla specials. I mean, there's definitely a partnership to be done with a certain line of comedy clubs that I know have just started working on doing this as well. The Heliums
Mm.
are producing smaller specials. I think the fact that specials have moved from an hour to half an hour to even 15 minutes. You do a slew of like the rookies or something like that. The Barstool presents, and it's like 4, 5, 15-minute specials, and each person gets to put out their 15-minute set. Like that model, I think, is much better, especially as people's attention spans have become more and more limited. It allows for tons of clipping for social content. I think that's a really good model, and you're not asking somebody who's not ready to deliver an hour of
right.
comedy to overextend themselves. They're not going to have to burn everything they've ever written. They'll look better in a 15-minute special, and it'll help grow their audience a little bit. I think all of that is
It's all great, bro. It's a home
really
run
good,
for any.
yeah.
Most. I feel like most comics I know would want to do it.
I would hope so. We'll see. I mean, everyone we've talked to who are like not people who would do, especially like they're bigger name comics. Everyone's like, that'd be work. That'd be dope. And I'm like, if the people we talked to, I'm surprised that they think that. Like,
Yeah.
like when I mentioned to Shane, like Shane was like, oh, it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
Like I thought you'd call me the dumbest fucking person alive and
No,
make
dude,
fun of it.
It's cool. Yeah.
So we'll see. I hopefully there would be like a live element to that too. That is probably a little more difficult to work out because stand-ups are like, well, I make my money on the road. Why would I do a live element with you guys? But I would like even maybe we do that with like we've talked about this in the past as well. With like live people here. But like doing some kind of Barstool comedy show where like 6 of us go on the road, and it's like even like it could be like three podcasts, and so everyone's not doing the full show kind of deal.
Right.
Mhm.
And I think that could be a fun thing too, almost like like Foreplay has had such success with the Barstool Classic, where you do something like that where it's a bigger group of people rather than everyone's individual teams
Mhm.
going.
Awesome, bro.
We'll see.
Very, very cool.
Appreciate everything you do
Yeah, man,
in the
thanks for
world of
coming on.
comedy and everything you've done here. You've been a leader at this place. So
Wow, thank you. I disagree again, but thank you.
That's John Feitelberg, everybody. You can find him on KFC Radio, as well as the occasional blog, the very occasional blog.
I get fucking Nate texting me all the time, being like, you know what I did? I'm not gonna make a bold statement here because sometimes I'll do that and I'll have to start doing stuff. I'm not gonna do that. But there was a time last year where when it was a little nicer rather than in the fall, rather than in the winter, I would do like something on Friday, where I would do something I've never done, be it like, I don't know, get my chakra aligned or something like that, and I'd write about that experience. I very much enjoyed that. I've kind of gotten
cool.
out of it, but I'd like to start doing that again. So maybe we'll start coming back with a weekly type blog.
All right.
But it's also so like, I don't know. How you gotta find stuff? Finding stuff to do, that's a whole nother job.
Lots of good stuff out there, dude.
Or just part of this job. Any facts with Ryan today, Ryan? We got a couple. Ryan's going to grab a microphone. Join us for Facts with Ryan. Facts with Ryan. Where are they lying? Facts with Ryan. He's our fact checker.
I fucking love that.
So man-made islands.
Oh.
There are two ways. Man-made islands are either built by either dumping material into shallow water or by excavating around areas of land and flooding the lowered areas surrounding it.
That makes sense. That probably sounds a little easier.
Yeah. And then 5 reasons why everyone should wear a jock strap. So I'll just read the headlines because you get the gist from this. 1, optimal support and lift. 2, all day, everyday comfort.
I disagree
3,
with that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
0 for 2 so far, it sounds like.
Fresh breathability. Is it breathable?
It's breathable.
Breathable. How could it be more breathable?
But yeah, well,
There's
that's what
nothing there.
But it's breathable. It's like it's breathable. But like now I'm just touching denim. Like I'd rather be suffocated. Like the denim isn't. I'll tell you guys this. My ass is itchy as fuck right now.
Yeah, you need some bird dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need some bird dogs. For your jock strap.
Improved exercise performance. How's the walking?
I gotta tell you what. I haven't tried that one. I'll give that a whack.
You just assume that walking is the most exercise he's doing right now.
I jumped rope and worked out today, but I wasn't wearing a fucking jock for that.
Yeah,
I was,
try it
honestly,
out.
to be straight up, I was wearing a pair of bird dogs.
Look at that.
That's not even an ad read. That's a true statement.
And then lastly, sexy confidence. Do you feel that?
I have the exact opposite of that. I feel so vulnerable.
Awesome. G, where can we find you on the road?
I'm going to be at DC Improv 3rd to 5th of March. Comedy Connection, Providence, Rhode Island, April 14th and 15th. I got a bunch of other cool stuff coming too. NotJulio.com. What about you?
I'm in Helium. First stop of the Hero We Need tour. The Late Show, I think, only has like 30 tickets left. So you better get on that. And then I'm off to Atlanta. The Earl Late Show for that is limited tickets. The Nashville Zanies on Sunday. That's February 4th and 5th that weekend. Late
Great
Show.
room.
Yeah, is the only one with tickets left. And then I'm on to Minneapolis, Austin, Dallas, Chicago, and San Francisco. Tickets for all those shows, francisellis.com. The Hero We Need tour. Hope to see you guys. Thanks, Ryan.
Excellent.
Thanks, John Feitelberg. We will see you guys on Thursday.